Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Miami Dolphins post-game show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm Bobby Fins Talk. That's the one and only Dolphins Thirsty Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com and YouTube, and of course, FinStanza. Smiling today on post-game. I wonder why. The Miami Dolphins get the job done. They win 31-17 against the Patriots. We're going to start off with Mr. Rob of Dolphins Thirsty because he was there live. I want to know how the vibe was. Jalen Ramsey, as advertised, very cool interception, forced fumble, huge game for him. Rob, how was the game in general? How was the vibe? And, of course, how are you feeling after the win?
Hey, man, I'm a little bit tired. It was a fun day, though. A lot of yelling and screaming for the good. It was great. It was fun. The vibe was good. Like I said, we had some Patriots fan almost had a fight in our section, but, they can't all cooler heads prevail. It was crazy, the vibe, and they got a little nervous. We all kind of got quiet when New England got that one late touchdown to pull within 7. But the Dolphins did something that they haven't done in recent past. They put a game away. They had a championship caliber drive. They went and held the ball for a long time, punched it out with a touchdown to Waddle, and closed out the game. So that was really fun. It was great, man. And having Ramsey come back and off his action was right there in my area where we sit to see his nice interception and his forced fumble. I mean, what a great return. And yes, it was nice. A couple offensive linemen, they came back in the game, so I took a deep breath. But seeing a couple linemen go out within minutes of each other, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me, because Lamb went out, and Hunt had gone out a few plays before that, but they both returned to action. I was happy to see them warming up at halftime. The good thing is we're 6-2. We remain alone on top of the AFC East for first place as we get ready to play Kansas City. Well, I won't talk about what happened in their game today because I promised Evan, but so we will see about that. But hey, Bobby, it was a great vibe. Whenever you win and you're at the game, it makes for a lot better because it's not fun getting out of a stadium. So at least when they win, it makes it a little less hectic getting out of the stadium.
Of course.
It just makes it a lot more. So those walks and traffic jams are a lot worse when you're leaving after a loss. So it's good. It was great, man. It was good to see. Was it a perfect game? No, but did they do what they had to do to win against a division rival to stay ahead in the AFC East? Yes, they did. And they, for you gamblers out there, they covered the spread.
They did cover the spread. I will say this. I will say, it started off a little bit on offense, a little nerve-wracking, a little here, little miscues, whatever. And there was an interception, but overall, the Dolphins, of course, you have to have a cleaner game against Kansas City. Dolphins, I was happy with the way they played. I was happy the way they were able to dominate. They scored over that 24 points I talked about at pregame against the Patriots. Like you said, they put the game away. You never felt at all that the Patriots had a real shot. I mean, right. Again, Jalen Ramsey, as advertised, Tyreek and Jalen over 100 yards in the game. Tyreek breaks 1,000 yards. Evan, on the game itself, how are you feeling after today's game?
After today's game, I have my comments, but I will say to this overall, the NFL day to me was just very enjoyable. The any given Sunday mantra of all these games, because we also talked about the games in the pregame show, really came true, and I'd like to take a few minutes later to talk about it. And I'll talk about what I want to talk about Kansas City in a minute. But no, overall, it did start off a little bit, but as I mentioned, I was less concerned about the offense this week. I really wanted to see how the defense was going to gel with Jalen Ramsey back. And with the exception of that really poor drive where they tied the game, but that was just a poor drive on the Dolphins. I think that stalled in the fourth quarter. The defense was great today. That was one of Hank's biggest concerns. He still didn't believe in the defense even after last week. But after rewatching last week's game, I didn't think the defense did all that bad, all things considered. But overall, I was very impressed with the defense. I was totally focused on Jalen Ramsey. The one thing I would do if I'm rewatching that tape on the plane tomorrow is every secondary player should be watching how Jalen Ramsey tackles, because when he popped out that fumble that Ezekiel Elliott ended up saving from Deshaun Elliott picking up, that's how you make a tackle. the way he got that interception and how he was coy, and that's how you play defense. Like that is just something where people was worried about him. You talked about this morning how people thought the same Jalen Ramsey. How he played was absolutely phenomenal. Christian Wilkins, a key sack. Bradley Chubb, I think is listening the same way Jason Sanders was listening to me. I think Bradley Chubb was listening to Dolphins Thirsty because I don't know what has happened to Bradley Chubb, but Bradley Chubb is a menace right now. He's been phenomenal. Christian Wilkins had a great game again today. Deshaun Elliott was all over the field. Kader Kohu made a couple of beautiful stops. Eli Apple basically told us that Xavier Howard, you better come back tomorrow.
Kader Kohu, just to respond on that, I think
the end zone, he was great.
Jalen Ramsey had a major impact on him, in my opinion.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Those two together, I loved what I saw from those guys.
At X, like I said, it's going to be phenomenal when you put Kohu in the slot. Overall, I think the specialty Barrios, you never have to be concerned about that because look what happened in the Kansas City game with McCall Hardman, disaster. But in terms of the offense, the overall offense, I never want to hear a word again. Tua makes his mistakes. I think that was a bad because that's the danger of being anticipatory. Julian Hill was just not there when he threw the ball. I never want to hear any more people saying that Tua can't throw a ball because where he dropped that ball for Tyreek, he dropped that ball 50 in the air. There was no height on it. It was just the most perfect throw. Tyreek just grabbed the ball, went back and sat down, took off his helmet. It was just a beautiful, beautiful throw. The concern I have on the offensive side of the ball was the fact that this is the second game in a row where they couldn't find their running game. And what we talked about on the pregame show, Bobby, is that I do think until Achane gets back, the piecemeal of getting the forced runner besides Achane, I think they still need to go shore up that running back room because I'm still a little concerned about that because it's the second game in a row where the running game where they tried to get it going and they could not get it going. They had 70, 80 yards or whatever, and they utilized everybody. It was nice to see Smythe involved. It was nice to see Claypool involved. The biggest concern I actually have on the offense right now, and I'll talk about is actually Jalen Waddle, who had the most yards today, but to get to that elite receiver point, there's three actually.
He
dropped,
wow.
Yeah. One, he jumped in the air. That was gorgeous when he was falling, but he has a tendency to drop easy balls. Tyreek did it also once today. Simple plays like that against a team that's in the upper echelon, you can't afford to do that if you want to become an elite receiver. We can get away with it with Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle, who's still a younger guy, he has to get over these drops. He seems to be making these drops at inopportune times. When it comes to the offensive line, I want to give a real shout out to Butch Barry. And I'm not going to rip Chris Greer on this at all. But the fact that you were able to keep out Connor Williams because you didn't really want to play him today, the fact that Teron Armstead's not back yet, the fact that Keon Smith was able to come in and hold his own, the fact that Liam Eichenberg didn't have to go to left guard at any point or tackle to bring in Connor Williams, the fact that Robert Jones, yes, he took 2 holding penalties, but it's his first game back. Cotton was in and out. Hunt got injured. So I want to give praise to 2 people tonight. Butch Barry for getting the depth of this team to play well and survive with this offense, because even after we were having third stringers, but the person who is the all-star of this offensive line, the much maligned guy that we never thought was a bust, the 18th pick in the first round of the 2020 draft, Austin Jackson, because Austin Jackson was literally playing on a line with 4 backups. He's the only consistency that was there, and you didn't hear one word about him. Not one penalty, not one struggle. Austin Jackson has proven in the first 8 games of the season that he has earned this right tackle position, and it does take time for offensive linemen to develop. It's his fourth full year with Tua, like same as Tua, and Tua's developing over the last year or 2. So good on Austin Jackson, but I want to give praise to Butch Barry because he had his offensive linemen capable of playing. Were there sacks? Yes, but did they? Was it a point where it was going to cost us the game? That could have easily cost us the game. It didn't. So overall, the offense still has places to improve. The defense got better. And overall, the team played what they do. Because I don't expect nice games against New England. And let's just say this 2 things today. Tua is the first quarterback, and he's only been in the league 4 years, to beat Bill Belichick 6 times, and he's 6-0. And Tyreek went over 1,000 yards and 2 guys went over 100 yards against Bill Belichick's defense. That's phenomenal. Neither one did that last game. And Tua is the quarterback who did this, not Patrick Mahomes. And yes, Patrick Mahomes had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. But what we're able to do on this offense, so Mike McDaniel, Tua, Tyreek Hill, this whole team, what they've been able to do, they put their money where their mouth is, and they're beating the teams they have to beat. Unlike, and I want to give praise to Bobby, I've had some upsets in my book. Bobby said this morning that Kansas City was going to lose to Denver. They got shellacked by Denver. They didn't give up a touchdown. And you wonder what? This is with the defense of Kansas City getting 5 or 6 sacks on Russell Wilson. It wasn't like Russell Wilson was phenomenal today. It's just that overall vibe. But that's what I love about the NFL. The fact that any given Sunday, the one thing about the Dolphins, they're being the teams they have to beat. Kansas City's not doing that. San Francisco's not doing that. So we've lost some games. But we're losing against really good teams. These other teams are playing down to their competition. So one thing about the Miami Dolphins is you want to criticize us for losing, not beating the great teams? Well, why can't the great teams beat the bad teams?
That's a fair point.
We're still beating the good teams.
Yeah.
We're still beating the bad teams. We're winning the games we have to win. Kansas City shouldn't have lost today. San Francisco had Brock Purdy today. They shouldn't have lost today at home. We're not losing at home.
It just shows. It just shows that
any given Sunday. Because any given Sunday.
No, it just shows that the NFL is crazy. At 5-0, we were all saying, man, the 49ers may be the best team in all of football. And here they now have lost 3 games in a row, and they're not even in first place in their own division. So it just shows that we can't anoint people too quick. Same for our Dolphins. We can't anoint them as great or bad. Let's let a lot more games crazy stat,
Bobby? Bobby, you wouldn't know the stat. Do you know that Kyle Shanahan's team is 0-36 when they're losing by 8 points or more heading into the fourth quarter? Wow. I could tell you this, that in the time that Mike McDaniel's been here, he has a better record than that. Because he did that in Baltimore last year. And that's one off the top of my head. It's unbelievable. The San Francisco 49ers, because they don't have these upper echelon quarterback, they have a game manager, they can't come back from big defeat. Look at Geno Smith today. Look at Pete Carroll. The Bears, the Browns had them where they wanted them because they had PJ Walker, but a Pete Carroll prepared team never loses. That's what you and I talked about this morning. What was the key thing? Pete Carroll. And you talked about with coaching staff. Look at what Butch Barry did today. I think Vic Fangio, I told you the confidence they would have with Jalen Ramsey on defense. He made everyone's life easier. That's the same way Tyreek Hill makes Jalen Waddle's life easier, makes Tua's life easier. Jalen Ramsey made his life easier today. So congratulations to you, me. We made some good predictions. And by the way, interdivisional games are not easy. Look. I told you this today. It was not a cakewalk for AJ Brown is uncoverable, but it wasn't easy for the Eagles.
The Commanders have played him.
The Commanders, Sam Howell looked like a star today. The Commanders played them tough every time. Interdivisional games are no cakewalk. Look what happened to the Broncos today.
I agree with you.
Patrick Mahomes has never lost. This is the first loss he's ever had to a team in his division on the road. That's insane. And he lost today. And he's injured, by the way. He has a hand injury, by the way, FYI. His left hand.
Mahomes?
Yeah,
Mahomes?
His left hand. His left hand.
Let me first welcome a few people here. There's people in the comments there. I just want to say hello. And again, you guys are watching the Dolphins postgame show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Eric Rivera in the house. Chris, as always. Brian Bloomer. Fins Tailgate. Duke. Daniel Taylor. Daniel Meehan. Ben, of course, in the house. Oh, good to see everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments. Let's see here. Daniel,
thank you for giving me my few minutes. I got the breath.
Of course.
Treatment.
Yes. You feel better? Yeah. Do you feel better?
But Daniel, were they all good points? I think you agreed on every point.
Yeah, good point. Daniel says, overall, I'm happy about the game, but we have to win Sunday. Fangio's defense is coming. Ramsey was great. Wilkins and Chubb were good. Phillips may have had the best game of the season.
Can I throw a gauntlet down right now? Right now, I believe at the deadline, we need more help on offense than we do on defense. Right now, with Jalen Ramsey back, right now we need more help on the offensive line, and we need more help in the running game than we do on the defensive line.
Savon Ahmed showed he is nowhere near.
Oh, can we stop throwing the ball to Savon Ahmed? Get him off the field. Except for that 120-yard run which got called back. He could not penetrate. He could not literally get anything.
Achane definitely is way better.
Oh, we're missing Achane like you have no idea.
But I agree. Even with Achane coming back, I would still bring in another running back in here because health. We still have a long way to go in the season. And go ahead.
At least Jeff Wilson got some touches.
Wilson,
today.
Wilson got some touches for sure. Chase Claypool got involved, which was really cool to see. Eric brought that up. The Dolphins showed up in waves today. Belichick was irate. Yes, he was. Daniel Taylor. I agree with FinStanza. Any sports fan watching any given Sunday would agree what happened today.
Yeah. By the way, do you know how many receivers? Right off the top of your head, don't guess. Right off the top of your head. Remember I told you how it's important for him to distribute the ball and not just hit it to their own receivers? How many receivers do you think Tua got the ball to today? How many players do you think he got the ball to today?
Well, I know 3 caught touchdowns.
So how many people caught a ball from Tua today? How many?
5.
10.
10 different
10
people.
receivers. He got the ball to Waddle, Hill, Smythe, Ahmed, Claypool, Wilson, Berrios, Ingold, Hill, and Wilson. That's how you win football games. You never know where the ball's going.
Hey, can you find the time of possession? We touched on that.
I'm about to tell you that. And this was the key. 35-55 Dolphins, 24-05 Patriots. Muzzle tov.
No, I'm good.
Did you see that last drive, like you said, was playoff football. It was systematic. It was sustained. It was distributing the ball to all your receivers. And I'm telling you this, using Durham Smythe, using your tight end works. Durham Smythe has to be utilized in this offense to break in the middle of the field. He doesn't draw. He's been great when you get the ball to him. Trust Durham Smythe. I really am a fan of his. All
right. Rob, you have any responses, sir?
No, man. Like you say, it's great. We're 6-2. Can't get too big on our britches. We got next week. We got Kansas City. Buffalo has no easy out next week. Buffalo has to play Cincinnati next week. So I think Cincinnati beats them. So,
well, Daniel says right here,
it's going to be a dog race all the way down to the end. And don't overlook Jacksonville. There's a whole bunch of teams we can't sleep on in the AFC.
Well, right now, Daniel says we're in a 4-way tie atop the AFC with Kansas City, Miami, Jacksonville, and Baltimore, all 6-2.
No, but if you had to decide today, you'd have to do the interconference and who's beaten who. And I think because we've beaten Denver and Kansas City hasn't, and then you'd have to balance it out. I don't know who's exactly atop, but I think we are there because I think the games that Jacksonville lost versus who we lost to in terms of combined records and all that, I think we're higher up. I think we might be number 1 right now.
Well, it's just a tie.
I know, but all I can say,
in there, FinStanza. You're nitpicking.
I'm positive. All I can say
is it's good to be positive. I'm happy. The Dolphins are 6-2 on top of the AFC East. That's the most important.
It's all that matters.
And I said
in this AFC, you may need to win the division. How tough it is.
Yeah.
I said last week. I don't want to hear about the whole toughness thing because they're not playing at home. If they were going back home, I wouldn't be worried. But by the way, the line of the day for me, this is McDaniel. This is why we love our coach. What was your result? How was your feeling on how Jalen Ramsey played? Well, I was kind of disappointed. He promised me a pick 6, but instead he got me a pick field goal. Like, this is your coach. Like, tell me any other coach in the NFL that would come up with this nonsense. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic.
So, let me just respond to Duke.
You don't love that? You don't find that's phenomenal.
It's awesome. Let me just say to Duke again. I agree. See, that was my issue when the Jets beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
We're not going home. They're not going home.
It doesn't matter. I mean, let me just finish my point. That's my thing that's why I didn't like when the Jets beat the Eagles and they never. Oh, let's do a champagne class. I'd rather Miami had done that because I think the Eagles played a little more angry the week after it. Of course, stomped Miami. Even though I did pick the Denver Broncos to upset the Kansas City Chiefs, and yes, to FinStanza's point that he's going to keep hammering every time someone says something about it. They are playing in Germany, not at Arrowhead, but it's true. I believe that Kansas City will come out. They just got mopped by the Denver Broncos, who the Dolphins beat 70-20 this season.
Yeah.
So they're going to come out trying to prove something. And of course, you add the Tyreek Hill factor that Eric brought up. It's going to be a huge game next week. This game, look. The other game I was concerned, the Eagles. I am obviously you're concerned. You can't sleep on the Chiefs versus the Chiefs versus the Dolphins, and no one's going to make a prediction right now. Maybe one of us. I know how you are. I said one of us will.
There's one reason and one reason only.
Hold on. All I'm going to say. We'll let the season. I'm going to let this week play out. But nobody should sleep on the Chiefs. But I believe that this is going to be a highly competitive game. between two good teams. I do not see a Philly and a Buffalo Bills game.
Miami has they got too much. I think they're just going to come
I think
in
Miami it's gonna be a more competitive than those two games.
Okay,
I think
no matter how
they're really tired of the narrative that they can't beat a good team.
Absolutely.
McDaniel's already touched
They need
upon
to
it.
show up. Yeah,
we're not going to end that narrative until we beat the good team.
The difference is, though,
a good record. He didn't say good team because then that would imply some teams are bad. But he said, if we beat a team with a really good record, it's the only way we're going to end that narrative.
Just do it one time. If you show up in Germany and you beat the Kansas City Chiefs and you go 7-2 before the bye and you send them 6-3, that narrative won't come up. It would be nail in the coffin. Even though they lost twice in that scenario, all they got to do is do it one time against Kansas City. Evan, I know you say you're ready to make your prediction. You do this.
I'm not, but I'll explain to you the difference.
When we lost last week, he was ready to say, the Dolphins are not pretenders. Now he's this week, they win. He's ready to say, I'm ready to make my prediction. Mr. FinStanza, the overreaction wagon, gentlemen. What is it, overreaction wagon? Give us your prediction.
Okay. When we played the Buffalo Bills, we had to contain with Dalton Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Stephon Diggs, and Gabe Davis, and we didn't have Jalen Ramsey on the field. We had one, and then they were throwing always to Diggs because Kohu was on the wrong side of the ball, with X was on the wrong side of the ball. When we played the Eagles, we had to deal with Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, who's uncoverable. Next week, we're going to have X back, we're going to have Holland back, we're going to have Ramsey. You're going to have Kohu, who's going to have to worry about who? McCole Hardman, Sky Moore, and you're going to and X is going to be there. X is going to be a ball hawk. Travis Kelce is going to have to face Jaylen Ramsey on every single solitary snap. So unless the magician shows up, which he can do it, there are more weapons on the previous two games today, and the tape that the Broncos showed today. I mean, you don't think Mike McDaniel's firing that up for tomorrow's flight? Unbelievable. And you're going to have to get acclimated. By the time the Dolphins are practicing, the Chiefs are going to be landing. Like the Dolphins are getting a head start. They're getting settled. They're going to relax. They're going to have a Tuesday off. They're going to start Wednesday morning. The Chiefs have to go home tonight, get settled, fly out on Tuesday. They're gonna be I'm just saying it's going to be a great game. But the Jalen Ramsey, for me, I said this morning, and I'm going to say it again. You didn't agree with me. He changes the way our defense runs things, the way Tyreek Hill does it for our offense.
No, that's not what I disagree with.
I said what I said.
You liar. Liar. You're a Canadian, not an American. Don't be doing some crazy American politician trying to lie.
Offense and defense. I know what you said. I know what I said.
No, you said that he's equal to Tyreek Hill.
He is.
I said he's not equal to Tyreek Hill. He makes a difference on defense, but don't say he's an equal talent to Tyreek Hill. That was our talk. No, he's not. Stop it.
He was today.
Stop it. Stop it.
He was today. My opinion.
Because guess what? If next week we play the Chiefs and for some reason, God forbid, he blows it up and Isaiah Pacheco or whomever has a blow-up game against him, 200 yards for you're like, he's a bust. He should never play this game. Oh, overreaction wagon. Rob, am I wrong?
No, it definitely Evan would be like that.
I'm very high on Jalen Ramsey. I'm not going to. I'm very
high on something. You're high on something. I'll tell you that. Listen.
No, I'm going to blame Christian Wilkins for that. I'm not going to blame him.
You son of a. I was waiting for you to say Jason Sanders. I was waiting for you to say Jason.
But Jason, I looked again.
He made it 3.
By the way, I think he's miserable.
Because of you.
I think he's miserable. I think he's bored. He's bored. He gets one field goal a game. He's bored.
Let me just say this.
We're saving him for the playoffs.
How are the Chiefs?
Couldn't they black out every single Giants Jets game for the rest of the season? That was the worst football game I think I've ever seen. The Giants in overtime, the quarterback could not throw the ball. He actually can't throw the ball more than 5 yards. So they had to run it from their end. They should have kicked it off. The fact that Zach Wilson won, the fact that they have a winning record, they were handed the football game today. They were handed the football game. Because Gano missed an easy 35-yarder. Jason Sanders would have made that.
Oh, there you go. There's a little ball.
I'm about to leave you guys because it's your normal show, and I got stuff. That's not the reason, but I got stuff I have to take care of. But I just want to say thank you, Bobby, for having me on tonight. It's good. Miami's 6-2. if any of us would have been given that, like if it's the pricing right, is anyone 6-2 what's behind this curtain over here? We would have just all held on to the 6-2, knowing that's a very good record.
I have a comment for this one. I have a comment for this
and
one.
that's it. And it's all good. I'm not so worried about the teams we've lost to. That happens. Any given week, you can see what happens. No one's calling the Cowboys frauds. The only team they beat with a winning record is the Jets, and the Jets just got to a winning record. So I don't know why we get labeled as a fraud and Cowboys are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. So it's a long season. Things are going to change through that course of the season. Today it was fun being at the stadium. Me and my son had a great time. Got to see all the Patriot fans start filtering out a little earlier when we got that last Waddle touchdown. It was a lot of fun. To me, that drive really gave me a lot of confidence because in the past, we would have been squeaking on to that 7-point lead. We would have punted back to them with a chance for them to tie the ball game, but we milked the clock. We went down there, didn't even settle for a field goal, punched it in, and it was a beautiful thing. To me, that's what good teams do. They close you out, and the Miami Dolphins closed out the New England Patriots after they made it a 7-point game. We just drove down the field, ate the clock, and this beautiful drive. And someone forgot to cover Waddle to make it a little easy there at the end for us. So, but hey, I'd take it. It was great. Me and my son are looking at him. Look at him. It was like so wide open right in our end zone. We're like, how can you get that open? But hey, it was wonderful. And again, Bobby and Evan, thank you for having me. And it was great meeting you guys just a couple weeks ago. It was super duper memories I won't forget. We got to make it a regular thing. Bobby, I'll be seeing you before I know it on the walk. 5K walk.
Yes, sir. February.
Evan, you come to Florida, you're almost like a second-hand Floridian. So
I belong in Florida. If I could move there tomorrow, I would.
So, guys, thank you. Great feeling, fans. Fins up to all of you guys. And I'll be on a show tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I got to set that up and go write an article for Dolphins Thirsty.
Guys, catch Rob on Dolphins Thirsty YouTube channel tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. He'll follow up more discussions on today's game. And plus, go check out his website, dolphinsthirsty.com. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content and you want more updates on the game. Thanks, Rob. Have a good night, brother.
All right, you too. Thank you.
It's Rob Mosley. Let me go ahead and fix this. Not that one. I'll find it eventually. Not that one.
Whoa.
Oh, Jesus. I think that's better.
That's better.
All right. So I just want to make a quick point because I saw someone say something about the Chiefs defense. I do want to just bring this up. We'll continue on this game.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Super Bowl thing.
Okay, so very quick. Regard to the Chiefs, like the Eagles, okay, the Chiefs are the number 2 offense right now in football, right behind the Dolphins.
Not after today's game.
And Evan, you mute your mic for a second, so I just finished all my points without you saying something in between. That'd be nice. Thank you. Okay. Number 2 offense. All right. Smart. Your mic's not even muted. That's hilarious. It's oh, did you unplug it? Fancy guy. All right. And the Kansas City Chiefs, top 2 offense. Okay, right behind Miami, and the 4th best defense. And again, yes, this is after 7 weeks. It'll be updated, but still top 5 offense, top 5 defense, something you can't sleep on. In regards of what is their rushing defense in 7 weeks, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 12th best defense defending the rushing D. There you go, number 12 in the NFL. The Patriots, 15th. So there you go. They're the 12th best rushing defense, and the Patriots are 15th. And you saw what happened today. That's why I say, look, again, no one. I'm not going to say winner or loser today. I'm going to let it play out. I'm going to do my thing throughout the week, as Evan knows. But what I am saying is that, yes, again, we have to be mindful in regards of top 5 offense, top 5 defense, and again, 12th best defense stopping the run. Unless they make a big trade and they get a certain back, who knows? That might change. But either way, of course, brother, I think so. Again, H.'s supposed to come back against the Raiders, I believe. It's the Raiders he is projected to come back. But the Super Bowl comment, Andy Reid is a Super Bowl coach. Yes, he is. I don't think anybody's disrespecting Andy Reid. However, Evan has a point, and it's his floor right now as I sip on my cola.
That he said, Daniel said above it that they're 12-1, but Tua's beaten. Tua's undefeated. Tua's undefeated against Super Bowl winning coaches, which means he's able to beat great coaches who have gone to the big dance. In big moments, he will show himself. The last game, it's a team game, but funny enough, he's able to beat Belichick. He's been able to he's beaten all these different guys. I don't care who they are. Any football team, like you said this a couple weeks ago, Denver Broncos are still a Denver Bronco, is still an NFL defense. They only allowed the Chiefs to score 9 points today. The San Francisco 49ers.
Well, credit though, just very quick. I don't want to stop you, and I apologize. But we got to credit yes, but no, the weather. It
didn't snow, and there was no snow on the ground.
But it's in Denver, the weather, etc.
Yeah, of course.
That counts. That counts.
Yeah, but the same way the Dolphins lost on the road too, right? You win the games you have to win. Today, San Francisco, they end up having Brock Purdy, not Sam Darnold. They played against Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow scares me, like I've told you this. I don't care anybody says. It's a team that's gone places. The guy was injured at the beginning. He's developing. He got them to 3-3. Now they're 4-3. You can't sleep on any team. The Ravens didn't look great today. They almost lost on the road. It was tight on the road against the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't quit. You know what I mean? So for me, any teams. So every loss, if you dissect every great team that lost. The Eagles shouldn't have lost to the Jets. The people are going to say that. Well, the 49ers shouldn't have lost the last 3 games. The Chiefs shouldn't have lost the 2 games that they played. The Ravens shouldn't have lost their games. The Jaguars shouldn't have lost their games. The Cowboys shouldn't have lost their games. They were up 30 and they were up 33-3 after the first half. Like that kind of thing. It's football. We're looking at our team in the bias that we want them to overcome a certain echelon. But the one thing they could have easily done in this win in the first 8 games is they could have dropped one. They could have dropped one to a team. And you want to know what? In our division right now, we got rid of the Patriots. Did we have a bad game against the Bills? Yes. But we still have to face the Jets. We still have to face the Bills again towards the end of the year. And in the end, what we now know, when you play Miami Dolphins at home, it's no cakewalk. A lot of teams are easy. There's no difference. Miami to play in Hard Rock Stadium is a very tough place to play, and people should be afraid to come into Hard Rock and play us. And you look at our owner today. Did you see the Waddle? The guy is so happy. Have you ever seen Stephen Ross this happy?
No, I love it.
And by the way, Mike McDaniel is so serious. I don't think I saw him smile today. He was very into it. He was serious. He knew that to play the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, it's exhausting. Don't you also find there's moments in those games that are really boring? I don't enjoy watching the Dolphin Patriot games just because the mannerism in which they play, it makes it very exhausting to get through the game because it's tough. You're facing the GOAT, right? It's not easy, right? So
no, absolutely not. I was trying to look up now that we were talking that. I wanted to look up the last time Miami played the Kansas City Chiefs was back in December 13, 2020 in Miami at Hard Rock.
Was it a shootout? No.
Yeah, no, it was. Remember, the Miami almost came back. Yeah. They were blowing us out. It was we were leading in the first quarter 7-0. Then it was 14-10 in the second. Then they scored 16 points in the third. They only scored 3 points in the fourth, and we scored 17. It ended up 33-27. Remember, they sacked.
Who was the quarterback?
Pat Mahomes. For whom? The Dolphins? Tua.
In 2020?
Yep.
Oh, so wasn't Fitzpatrick at that point?
So? Nope. That's where the one comes in. So wait a second. Hold on.
He hadn't won the Super Bowl yet.
Was
I wrong?
On.
11 straight.
Whoa, FinStanza was wrong.
11 straight. Are you sure
Whoa!
That was the year? Have they won the Super Bowl yet? When year did they win the first Super Bowl?
That I don't know. Maybe that was the year. Yeah, it was. It was a great game.
Wait, they hadn't won the Super Bowl yet.
I don't know if they won the Super Bowl. Look it up. Kansas City 2020. When did they win the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Doesn't matter. It still counts. He's
no,
a Super
it doesn't.
Bowl coach. Yes, it does.
Before.
Oh, you're full of crap. Would you stop it? Just accept the L. Just accept the L.
No, I'm not accepting the L. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
My God.
Sorry. Yeah. They won it in 2020. It doesn't count.
He won that year, Super Bowl coach.
He won in 2021. He didn't win in 2020.
He's still a Super Bowl coach.
No, sorry, he didn't win it this year. Sorry.
Whatever.
No,
anyway, now I see Tennessee. How about again? We're going to talk. I want to talk on all the games a little bit, just kind of reflect. We don't have to go too much. And Chris, thank you so much. And Raphael. Yeah, I know. Eric, Chris, thank you so much. Yes, guys, you're watching the Dolphins postgame show on the Fins Talk Sports Network. FinStanza, Bobby Finstock, Dolphins Thirsty just departed. You catch him tomorrow again on his show. Please like that, hit that like button if you don't mind, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Appreciate you all.
By the way, 6-2, first time in 22 years.
That's right, 6-2 for the Dolphins. Number 1 in the AFC. I just find this funny. I see our friend Manny, Bearded Fanatic, and Battered Fin Fans responding to Bills Mafia Rochester, who said
on Twitter, not on our comments, right?
No, he says he put a GIF of Bills. The Bills fan put a GIF of Tua waving, saying "I beat bad teams," and then he puts one of Josh Allen waving, saying, "quote unquote, I lose to bad teams." Did I do this right? I think that's hilarious. I mean, why as a Bills fan? As a Bills fan, why the hell would you say anything after you just lost to the Patriots last week?
Thanks, Eric.
You lost to the Patriots last week. We beat the Patriots this week. Why are you even talking? Yeah. Shut up. Like, shut up, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can talk smack, but, like, don't say that. Like, oh, you got to do that. Well, you lost to a bad team then, didn't you? You dumbass. Sorry. Like, I didn't finish the word.
No, but I'm looking to see how all the talking heads are going to rank these teams this year, because how do you, in theory, how do you rank a 3-loss team like the 49ers over the Dolphins? Their 3 losses have not been great. Or how do you rank
the narrative that
you have to be a great team? I don't care.
Exactly.
But
first of all, but the Dolphins had the second toughest schedule in the NFL before the season.
Oh, really?
So people look. Again, when I talk about measuring stick games, I'm not discrediting again, because remember when the Dolphins beat the Broncos, I said people are going to say the Broncos suck. Fact of the matter is, there's still an NFL defense that the Dolphins dropped 70 points on them. You know, but the measuring stick games, i.e., Eagles, Buffalo, they lost. They got to finish those games. These personalities, these quote unquote experts, are going to say no. They have to win those games in order for us to believe in them. All right, but the Buffalo Bills just lost to the Patriots. If they have the Buffalo Bills over Miami in tomorrow's little thing, or if Stephen A. Smith puts his top 5 teams, and if I see the Buffalo Bills over the Dolphins, I don't care either way about their analysis, really. I don't pay attention. You pay attention more than I do. But
no, I'm just saying that today we struggled less against the Patriots and the Bills, the Ravens against the Cardinals. I know where people are playing their games. It's just, in the end, it's the NFL. And anything can happen on any given Sunday. But the Dolphins do what they have to do. They beat Bill Belichick twice in the first 8 weeks of a season. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Period.
So
you want to go over the NFL, or you want to go over?
We're going to touch on something first. I know we touched a little bit. I want to talk on it a little more. Ramsey. We talked a lot about it before on pregame. A lot of hype before when we traded for him. A lot of hype saying what he's going to be able to do in December and November. Oh wait, no, it's October. He makes the big return. Is he going to take it slow? Is he going to take his time? Is there going to look like there's some rust? Absolutely not. He shows up big. I mean, dude, he is compared to our other corners, dude close. Is massive.
He's ginormous.
He's a linebacker. Like you said, we talked about this before. You know, all joking aside, I know, and again, I know where you're coming from in the end. Again, I agree. Impact on the defense could be equal to Tyreek Hill. No doubt. And I think that had a lot when you look at Kader Kohou today, who hasn't been a bad player. He's been a good player for his position. I think he shined today because of Jalen Ramsey. I think Ramsey's passion showed up on defense today. He finished, I think he had 1 tackle, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and no catches, or 1 catch. I'm not sure.
0 catches.
Thank you. So, I mean, you want a debut like this, especially when your defense is top 20 in the NFL and people are questioning how they're going to play. You see this, you feel better about next week. So I'm going to give the floor to you. God help us all. I'm going to give you the floor, and I want you to tell me about Ramsey, what you saw today, what impressed you, Is there anything that you would like to see next week from him that you didn't see this week? Or you're like, no, you know what, Bobby? After today, I feel pretty damn comfortable with Jalen Ramsey.
The best part about Jalen Ramsey today is unless you had to notice him, you didn't notice him, which means he's doing his job. The way he is prepared in his defensive stance, a lot of guys are going backwards. He's sideways. You never know which way he's going. So on that interception for Mac Jones, he literally faked Mac Jones that he was going to go cover this way, left the guy wide open, and completely deked him out.
It was amazing. The awareness of that is that he was already near the end zone. He saw the throw, turned back around, and took the ball. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, it's phenomenal. No, what I liked about seeing him today is the level of confidence and appreciation that he has, because he's a religious person. The way he came back with a tear and the journey, and the fact that he's thankful, and the fact that he wants to be part of this team. He was the leader of this defense before he even stepped on that field this season, just because of his experience. He's a Super Bowl winner. The fact that he has this connection with Xavier Howard, the fact that he's a Florida State guy, the fact that he just has this passion to want to be a Miami Dolphin, and you could see it today. You saw the crowd, how they were reacting to him coming out of the tunnel, the joy he had. He was just grateful to be there. After his interview, people were joking around behind him. They were supporting him. He's just you saw how he was. They should do a case study on him. There was something about him today. It's just the way he tackled. Like when he got that forced fumble, I wish I was seeing how other people were tackling today. And like you said, he complimented Kader Kohu. Look what he did to Sean Elliott. Deshaun Elliott, that tackle on Devontae Parker. Remember I said this morning, and I said this all week, our defense is too nice. The defense now feels confident enough to go after whoever they have to go after, because the quarterback of the defense is on the field with them. And they did this without Xavier Howard. They did this without Javon Holland. Imagine you get your stout, your star safety and your ball hawk receiver. Next week is like the next few games. This is the perfect timing. I want to see this today because the level of confidence people have with him right now is great. What he did for the overall conceptual concept of the team, the pride in which Mike McDaniel spoke about him, the fact that the family aspect of this team, he just fits right in. That's what I love about him. He fits right in, and this is not a rental for us. We have him for years. I love it. Like he could not have put on a better performance if we asked from him. He could not have put on a better performance. For his confidence, it could not have gone better.
Absolutely not. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. And and the confidence this gives, and
he makes it look easy, by the way. He makes it look easy.
And I know he's just one player, but what this does for Miami's defense next week, the confidence they go into next week with him back there, him coming off an interception and a forced fumble, and what they saw that the Denver Broncos were able to do to Kansas City, Miami's defense may come in saying, hey, we could do this. We could stop this. And again, I believe you just need that one big win to silence the haters, and it could. And before the season, I'll say it like this too, because I know I got to put it out there. Okay, top 5 offense, top 5 defense. It's not going to be a cakewalk. But before the season started, as Evan would know, I said the Buffalo Bills game. I was worried about the Buffalo Bills game starting out. I was worried about the Eagles game. I'm talking about winning and losing. I had them both losing those 2 games, and the Kansas City game was a win. I was less worried about that game than I was about the 2 games. Credit. If we had Devon Achane coming into against that team next week, I'd be like, I'm comfortable with my decision about my earlier prediction. I'll hold it till there, but what Jaylen Ramsey could do for this defense next week just by being there is enough. Now, if Xavier Howard is there,
and Holland,
Javon Holland, if healthy, yes, if Javon Holland, but Xavier Howard with Ramsey, Kader Kohu, Needham, Holland, Brandon Jones, etc. Those guys are there. All bets are off. And you think about the pass rush. Jalen Phillips, hey, like you said earlier, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, I wouldn't go there.
No.
I'm sorry. 2, 3, 4, 3. No. I appreciate you.
I would put Savon. I would leave Savon Ahmed in at home and don't use him anymore. That's for sure. The guy cannot get out of the backfield. Holy crap!
Yeah, I don't know if I'd start Jeff Wilson.
By the way, I just want to answer Raphael for a second. Robert Hunt came back out when Kendall Lamb came back out in that group. They just didn't want to rush him to play.
Yeah, David Long
But
played.
he's okay.
David Long came
Yeah,
back.
no, but I'm saying that Robert Hunt came back out also. He just
Okay.
didn't play. He's okay. I think they just have something against Tyreek Hill there. But I personally also think X didn't play today. If Ramsey wouldn't have been going today, X would have had to play today. The fact that you didn't have to play him, and what it was also nice to see today is the distribution of the receivers. To see Cedric Wilson, Cedric Wilson cost his first touchdown today. The guy's been great also the last 2 games when he has to make catches. This shows me that if you ever needed to have a game against a team that's not so great, and you want it, and Tyreek Hill just needs a break, whatever, you can win because Waddle showed what he could do today. He has to get over the drops, and someone made a comment. What's happening? I did think that it's just a tendency he has. I think it's just something he has to get over. It's the same way where Tua had to learn to get rid of the football. Waddle has to learn how to secure the football. I think that it's sort of like that thing where Jalen Waddle has a tendency to already be thinking about the route after he catches the ball before he physically receives the ball.
I like that. I like
What?
that right here. Bills, Bengals, Dolphins, Chiefs, same weekend.
I thought you liked my comment.
I just listened to your comments.
No, I said that Waddle has.
I hear you. Yes.
He has that tendency. If you notice, he's leaving. Like, for example, the ball that went behind him, he should have caught it because he was in his hands, but he was already continuing. He was so quick on his route that he didn't secure the ball before he went over. And by the way, this was the big joke today. We'll always wonder, who was the quarterback that threw Tyreek Hill those 1,000 yards? Tua Tagovailoa. The guy is a good The guy is a great quarterback. Does he make mistakes? Yes, but so does every quarterback. The guy is a great quarterback.
So talking about that, that's great. Let's roll right into that. Tyreek Hill has surpassed 1,000 yards in 8 weeks. Waddle and Hill both finished the game over 100 yards. Again, like you said, which is true. Tua did have some mistakes today. Obviously, threw an interception. Was it 2 interceptions or 1? I don't know why.
1 interception. The Mostert drop. I don't put that on Tua because Mostert has to secure that football when it hits his chest. He has a tendency to fumble footballs. We know that. But the person who was to blame for that was Liam Eichenberg.
The interception, I will say, Tua finished the game really well. He responded really well to the interception.
He's so good with interception.
He's very good with responding to mistakes. He makes a mistake. The biggest, dumbest mistake he made today, which pissed me off just as it pissed off Mike McDaniel, was going head first trying to truck that linebacker. Don't be a jackass. Slide. The first slide was beautiful. He slid so perfect.
The fourth down one, that was phenomenal.
But that going ahead, I said every mean name in the buzz. Like, you dummy, sit down. Like, what the hell are you doing? You know it pisses me off. But the interception, I will say this: it was not a good interception. It was not a smart play. It helped the argument for some. And again, I think Tua had a great game. He responded really well, and he finished the game where that interception. It was like he went with the script. That's how I think of it. He said, okay, this is my first. Yeah, he just went right away. I'm throwing it here. Instead of reading the defense, because a lot of people call him, we know some of our colleagues, so we're calling him a one-read player. But that was a situation where they could make that argument because it's like, dude, read the field. That ball should not have been there. What I will give credit for, though, is that he responded really well right after. Threw that deep ball, beautiful deep ball to Tyreek Hill. Take that, Stephen A. Smith. 2 yards throw. It was beautiful. But let's just touch on very quick because we talked about Waddle. You've touched on Waddle. And again, had over 100 yards, made some very good catches, but some bad drops. But Tyreek Hill, holy crap, surpassed 1,000 yards in 8 games. He said, I am targeting 2,000 yards. He's doing that. Okay. And he is the first player in the Super Bowl era to go to 1,000 yards in 8 games. 2 years ago, last year, you said when we traded for him, he is the best player that we've had on our offense since Ricky Williams. He's that great. He's greater than Ricky in his position. But teams make trades for players, superstar players, and they don't pan out. Hell, Miami's been that team before. Signing big players, trading for a big player, and they just are not those guys. You think of Sue. Sue was great, but Sue wasn't what he was in Detroit. And I think people kind of were unfair in regards of their expectations, but it is what it is. But Tyreek Hill, like Jalen today, and Ramsey has to do this the whole season, but Tyreek Hill, in the 2 years that he's been here, the 1.5 years, 1.5 seasons, has been that and more for the Miami Dolphins. And I think he's a better player in Miami than he was in Kansas City. And I don't take that away from Kansas City. That's not quarterback. I'm not saying, because he has Tua Tagovailoa and that's what. No, I think Ramsey's playing with a chip on his shoulder that he put there himself, and he's going to show. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes that made me. I made me. And now look what I did for this guy, because now I told you this guy was great, that he had some great, and that he was a great player, but no one was believing me. Now look at him. He's up for MVP. I should be up for MVP. This guy could quite possibly break, and I think he will if it continues to trend. Obviously, Calvin Johnson's record. He's going to get over to 2,000, and he should be He should be right there, if not leading the MVP conversation, because he's that freaking important. And you're absolutely right. Credit to Cedric Wilson, who's been playing really well, who had an unbelievable, beautiful touchdown catch today. That it does get you comfortable going, you know what? If Tyreek has to miss a game, we could survive it if it's against a bad team. And your words, if it's against a bad team. Because Tyreek Hill is that important, not only to this offense, but to this football team. No, because it will be Tyreek Hill who does it.
AJ Brown makes phenomenal catches, but he won't get.
AJ Brown's a phenomenal receiver, and the Titans are.
Did you see that one-handed catch he made? Holy crap!
It's ridiculous. He's special. But no, listen. Again,
what's
up, Kenna? Kenna's in the house. Good to see you.
Did you think that the what do you call it? That the Titans would regret trading him? Holy cramoly!
They should, especially after what they saw from their rookie quarterback, whose numbers I have right here on my screen.
What an art! By the way, can you?
Can I pull an Evan? Can I pull an Evan right now?
Sure.
Who said that guy was going to be great? Same thing with Richardson, but who said that? Was it me? It was me. I said it. Okay, and look at these numbers: 19 of 29, 202. I had a Titans fan who, again, I told you about when we traded. When
had 3 touchdowns.
Who's all of a sudden he's rejuvenated his career. I remember when Tannehill came to Tennessee, and I told him, they go, Bobby, hit me up about Tannehill, man. What's the deal? Because of course they were in love with Mariota. They don't like giving up on their guys, right? And I go, look, Tannehill's gonna end up coming, and eventually Mariota's gonna get benched or get hurt. Tannehill's gonna come in, he's to make you fall in love with him. He'll do very well, and eventually he'll flame out. I said that's what's gonna happen. I think it's good that he got traded because it's a new scenery, whatever. And that's exactly what happened. He came in, they fell in love with him. He played really damn good. AFC Championship, lost. He's flamed out. It's okay. He did his job. Will Levis, man, Bobby, man, Will Levis, dude. Yes, he's a raw talent.
Malik Willis, who? Malik Willis.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I'm glad those players stood up for him today. But anyway, raw talent, athleticism, big arm, etc. The dude has the talent. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the Titans. DG Live, George, our friend George, says, Dolphin fans, should we be worried about the Titans game? Will Levis look like the beast rookie quarterback in the class today? Definitely took Ryan Tannehill's job with this performance. Should we be worried? No. But it's good to mark on the calendar.
Miami's a better team.
Better team in Florida. That's man. I'm going Miami for sure.
Well, I'm trying to tell you this. Wonder why I'm going to say that? Because when you go on both teams,
that is a lazy take, though.
No, it's not. You want to know why? When you start.
Yes, it is. I was here. I watched those games. I watched those teams.
What?
Henry was here for Mariota, and they didn't do what they did when Tannehill came.
No, I thought his lazy take. Let me just ask you one thing. The one difference is right off the bat, when you start thinking who has the best player on both teams, we do. Who has the second player? Who has the second best player on both teams? We do. Then we can start having the conversation if you want. They have a better running back. Quarterbacks, I think, is even. Defense, but individual talent. Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill are the two best team players, combo, offense on defense, that I think they have in the NFL right now.
Talking about Jacksonville, Miami?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
No,
Jack, and I'm not sleeping on Jack. No, and that's not I agree with you 100%.
No, they're a great team. They're coming strong. 100%. They started off poorly, and now they're coming strong. No problem. They had a tough game today against Pittsburgh. I said that, but we all said that the Jaguars were going to win.
Ooh.
So No, but I'm concerned. One thing I will say going to the Kansas City game, and I hope they sign a running back. Mostert's doing what he has to do, but 78 yards for our running game as a balanced attack. This was not. That's the one thing I will say coming out of this game. Only 26 attempts and 45 passing. That is not a recipe for success. I want to see even or maybe a little more passing than running. But when you only have 26 rushes because you can't get a sustained ground attack. Now, I'm not saying that. By the way, to get the Ramondre Stevenson on 10 on 39, and I think he has 25 for 80 something against 2 games to stop Ramondre Stevenson 2 games in a row. It was great on the Dolphins defense, but our running game has not been great.
So, Scotty, Henry had over 2,000 yards. How is that a lazy take, Bobby? You hurt my feelings calling me lazy. I didn't call you lazy. I called the take lazy. Okay, because you're calling
Scotty,
a singular
I got your back.
It's just like it's just like saying Tyreek Hill is leading the Dolphins, not Tua Tagovailoa. When we both know that if Tua went down and you had Skylar Thompson or Mike White or whatever you want to call him, you have them, and you know the Dolphins ain't going to do what they're doing right now. You know what Mike White was
doing today? You know what I noticed Mike White was doing today? He's in charge of fixing every receiver's shoulder pads when they come off the bench, when they come off the side. That's what he does. Literally every time Tyreek Hill and Jalen
Ramsey love for you, Scotty. You know I appreciate Scotty, man.
That's what Mike White does. Mike White's in charge of fixing your shoulder pads. That's what he's in charge of. That's all I want him to do this season is fix shoulder pads. That's it. Fix the jerseys.
Bro, the problem is we're missing half our offensive line. Half our offense. In offensive line, you dumb A. It's not the running backs.
What'd you think about...
Well, Hawk, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. This is your first time I've seen
you. What did you think when they picked up the flag on the one good run they said the receiver... that was a nice... Finally, the refs finally actually called a decent game. Yay. What were the penalties today? Let's look at the team stats.
I know the Patriots were...
today.
I know the Patriots weren't happy with the calls today.
I don't care. That's not my problem. Penalties today were the Dolphins had 3 for 25. They had 7 for 45. And 2 of those 25, 20 of those 25 went to Robert Jones.
Let me just say, hey, Scotty, man, you know it, brother. And I hope people forgive me because, hey, Scotty, you see here, guys, I try to read all the comments. I try to react to comments. But yeah, Scotty, man, you're great, dude. I like our back and forth, brother. I really do.
I love these throwbacks.
The throwbacks, absolutely love them. I thought I was a little surprised by the names on the back. They were huge.
Got to, yeah.
What the hell? What's wrong with that size on the name though? That's huge.
Which one?
Yo, that's my girl right there. Miss Fins is in the house. Guys, you know who Miss Fins is. You better know who Miss Fins is.
She loves me more. I treated her to dinner. What have you done for her?
We're friends, dude. Okay.
I buy my
cheap dinner. You think a cheap dinner? You know, whatever, bro.
Oh, asshole.
Yeah.
No, what was I gonna say? No.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. What was I gonna say? What was I saying? What about the logo? What was really big?
The names on the back. The names on the back.
Big, eh?
They were huge, bro.
Yeah.
I still thought I think they look nice. It kind of tipped me up because I would love Bobby Fins Talk that huge on my jersey. But to me, they were huge. I was a little shocked, but no. I love the throwbacks. Again, if it knows my preference, I love the throwbacks, and I would absolutely be down with adding them as the permanent uniforms for the the home and away jersey. However, I really don't care about the uniforms. I think I care more about the wins. But if I had to choose between which uniforms to bring back, it would be the shirt Evan's wearing.
Yeah,
that logo right there.
The one that's a little higher up.
Yeah,
what I found very confusing though is that they were wearing white uniforms, but I love the hoodie that Mike McDaniel was wearing, but he was wearing aqua, which was kind of confusing. But can I ask you a question? And I love how Facebook and I am Miami Dolphins on Facebook. I think there was like 1,000 comments. How is he wearing that sweater without sweating? Someone goes, he's so chill. Can you imagine going out can you imagine going to that football game that we went to wearing a thick hoodie? I was sweating without in the shade.
I don't know why he does that. I got to know. I mean, obviously he's human. I'm sure he's sweating like crazy. And I wonder if he doesn't like being as skinny as he is. I swear to you, I thought that today because I saw him.
You think he's cold?
No, my wife gets cold with a breeze. I mean, if I literally go,
Maybe
Just
he has a
boom.
fan under there. He must have ice packs under there because
I don't know. I don't know. Like, is he just he doesn't like to be how skinny, so he wears layers to show that he's not as
You think
skinny
he's
as you? I don't
embarrassed
know.
that he's a stick?
I
figure?
like that, Scotty. There's his new name right there, Mike McChill. McChill.
So
It's
people
true.
saying he's very chill, and that's why he wears it because he needs to be chill.
Maybe. But guys,
Yako was nice today though.
Let me just say though, Miss Fins in the house. You guys, check her. I'm sure she'll be on tomorrow morning for Victory Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern time on the Miss Fins channel. Awesome stuff. Great person. Great personality. Better person. If great personality, I mean YouTube personality, network personality, but a better person. Loved meeting her.
She's a sweetheart.
So funny. Met her once in person, obviously, because of going down there, but been talking to her for, I don't know, I think it's 1 year or 2 years. I don't know how long. And great friend. Got a lot of love for her. But Hunter in the house. My boy Hunter. Throwback logo is sick, but I'm with Bobby. I love the 90s. Yes, sir. That's me. I mean, and we're in the minority, maybe.
You like the mean logo. You like the mean dolphin.
Yeah, I like the 90s 2000 logo, dude. That's the logo I grew up with, and I just love that jersey, dude. I would want to bring those back. Those are Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas. Those were the fun years with Ricky Williams. I'd be at least give me one game a year with those jerseys. One game, and I'd be down.
Call up our buddy Ross. What? By the way, I don't understand why these owners are too cool. They can't wear one. Like these general managers and they don't like to wear anything of their own team. I don't get it.
I was just talking today. My father-in-law was asking me with my wife. He asked me. He goes, "Is it normal for owners to go to all the games and all?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." I said,
"Yeah."
I said they go. I said, there's some owners that are really more into their teams than others. I go, Ross goes every game. I mean, what he's done for the stadium, but you got to remember it's a secondary.
He does more now than he did before.
Absolutely, it's more. Jerry Jones. I was explaining, is a guy who's involved with it. Jerry Jones would be the owner I would be. And I mean that. But I would wear gear. I'd be wearing my team's gear all the time.
Oh, but what, you'd be like
yes,
you'd be like Mark Cuban.
Yes, sir. Evan, you probably know that before even me telling you that, dude. If I owned a team, God willing,
I'd be on the sideline.
I'd have to put you in the booth and lock the general manager.
I'd be Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank is literally.
But that's what I mean. Listen, I'd be that guy. I'd be very involved. Who's your general manager? Who?
I love Waddle.
What general manager? I'm the general manager. You know what I mean?
You know what the best part is that when people do the waddle, they waddle. What's his name? He does like the little shimmy. He does like the little.
He does like a booty dance. I was like, "What is that, dude? What are you doing?" And I actually saw either his wife or his girlfriend,
and they put him on the kiss cam.
Yeah, that was his wife or his girlfriend. I'm not sure. I think it's his girlfriend because he got divorced. I think Arrowhead has a two-story.
You better have had a prenup on that one. Holy crap!
But I will say again, if you're owning a team, I mean, talk about Arrow. I would live at the stadium. I would have an apartment built into the stadium. I wouldn't leave after the game. I'd be at the game. I would stay there. Can you dude, right? Am I wrong? I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, Garfinkel looked like he was crazy.
Garfinkel, but Garfinkel's an awesome dude.
But they even made room for Kraft. But Kraft and Steven, both Krafts, they look miserable.
Well, but let's run by the games very quick. We'll get back a little bit into the Dolphins, but let's go at some of the games here, and we pop this up very quick. All right. So we do know the Miami Dolphins are now 6-2 on the season, number 1 in the AFC East, tied for first in the AFC, beating the Patriots 31-17. Let me make sure. I think right now, last I checked, I could be wrong unless it updated. The Chargers are winning 7-0 against the Bears. I believe that's good. I don't have the score in front of me yet. I did see it pop up.
That's maybe good. Come on, Daniel. I don't care what anybody says, no matter how much you may not like that Waddle dance, it's way better than the gritty of Gesicki. Oh.
Hey, you know what? Our owners, the Dolphins owners, having fun. We're having fun. The Dolphins are 6-2. Hey, you know what? If you want to have a cringe dance, do it now.
Go for it.
Do it now. I'm cool 14. With it. Oh, 14-0 for the Chargers. Yeah. Thanks, Scotty. So I had the Chargers winning. Evan had the Bears earlier, but we'll see how that.
Anything Justin Herbert makes me puke.
The Rams lost to the Dallas Cowboys. Evan, remind me where we predicted, because I don't remember.
We both took the Cowboys, and
we did. Okay.
Scorgonominy, if you're into Scorgonominy or whatever they call it, I don't know what they call it. For the first time in NFL history, a game ended 43-20.
Really? That's a first time?
I was watching Redzone. They said it's the first time in history a game ended 43-20.
Very cool.
Isn't that cool? If you're
Uh,
into fame of really cool scores.
are you into score? It's like, wait, what? No, dude, I'm what?
Scorgonomy or whatever they call
Sounds
it.
different. No, sir.
Scorgonomics.
Okay. The Minnesota Vikings defeated the
Ooh,
Green
they're
Bay
in
Packers. We
trouble.
both picked the Packers, but
They're in big trouble. They're
Kirk
in big
Cousins
trouble.
out for the season, right? I mean,
I know they're going to confirm. They think it's a torn Achilles, but they won't confirm it until they complete the MRI tomorrow. But it does not look good.
that sucks, dude. That sucks for him.
But they were coming back, and I
and they
heard
won,
people
though.
watch If you watch quarterbacks, the guy is a very hard worker.
A right Achilles tear. Damn. Tennessee Titans defeated the Atlanta Falcons. Again, Will Levis, 4 touchdowns in his debut, 28-23.
That's not why they won. I understand why the Rams got rid of Van Jefferson. That throw was right on the money to continue that game, and he literally dropped the ball. It was like you throwing your son. You know when you get to your son and when you're trying to teach him how to catch for the first time and he's holding a baseball glove and you underhand the ball to Tristan and he has to catch it in his gloves? That's what that was, and he dropped the ball.
That's awesome. New Orleans beat the Indianapolis Colts. I had the Saints. You had the Colts. Obviously, we know Miami. The Jets beat the Giants.
Not fair. That's not fair because Tyrod Taylor left early.
Nope.
They didn't have a quarterback.
Prediction is a prediction. You picked the Giants.
It was the worst game ever. It was the worst game I've ever seen.
You were wrong.
It was the worst game ever.
I don't know how many times, but I'm getting there. Jaguars beat Pittsburgh. I believe we both picked Jacksonville.
No, you took Pittsburgh.
I did not pick Pittsburgh. You liar. There you go again. The Eagles beat the Commanders. You picked the Commanders. I picked the Eagles.
I was close.
Close is not always right, and it wasn't.
We got the Panthers right. We got the Panthers. He got his first win. Congratulations. Right? Seattle beating Cleveland. I was right. Denver over Kansas City. By the way, let's just be very clear about this. That was probably one of the worst. You talk about an offensive line not coming to the game. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life all game.
Well, that's my thing. Again, I don't
that
think this is like, this shows that the Chiefs are vulnerable. No, again, AFC, it's a divisional game. Yeah. It's in Denver. Things like this happen, but it was kind of right in the wall. I'm not kidding. It's not like I'm going to put my pat myself too bad on the shoulder. Baltimore defeated the Arizona Cardinals.
Can you believe that Josh Dobbs had more yards than Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson couldn't even get over.
Dobbs is showing to be himself a decent quarterback in the NFL.
Record. It's just the record.
No. But again, remember you said something earlier about Tannehill, backup quarter. Dobbs as a player that I would be absolutely okay with being the backup quarterback for Miami.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, Evan can't always be right. He's learning the hard way, but he knows this. I
would just never cheer for Justin.
Well, you're right here. I picked the San Francisco 49ers. You picked the Bengals. The Bengals end up winning 31-17 today. Yeah. And, of course, we still got Detroit versus Vegas tomorrow. I got Detroit. I believe you picked Detroit as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll wait on that tomorrow. But Scotty's just filling us all in. I love it. Giants could have used Mariota. Mariota is on the Giants? I didn't think so.
Dobbs has done his job.
No.
Dobbs has done his job the best he can with a team that doesn't have much. But let me just tell you one thing. I enjoy watching Hollywood Brown. I would love for him to be a Dolphin. That guy is a great receiver. He's a fun receiver to watch. And he's being and you want to he's getting the ball. They're getting the ball to him.
I agree. He would be a solid back. Look what he did with Tennessee when Tannehill went down last season. Look what he's doing for Arizona with no Kyler Murray. I mean, come on, dude. Research. Come on, Joseph. You can do it. Appreciate you watching. All right. So let me see if I missed anything here as we are touching base on this Miami Dolphins going.
We lost a turnover battle, which I don't love, which I was not happy about.
No, and they can't do that against the Chiefs.
No,
because they will make you pay. Because if you turn over the ball,
and the yards per play was weak.
Joseph, really wish we use Claypool more.
Yes,
Claypool. I think we are going to end up using him more. You saw a little bit of that today. I did too, Scotty. We saw a little bit of that today. He made his first big catch. It was a very good catch, a strong catch. So I think that will pick up as we go. Scotty, I love Dobbs coming out of college. So did I. Eric, they could have used him if they signed him, Bobby, even if he would have won that game. So,
Oh wait,
I
the
mean-
yards per attempt was lowest I've seen in a long time for the Dolphins. Only 5.3 yards because we had a lot of plays. Because
it's so funny. All of a sudden, I started using this last 2 years ago, or whenever I started these shows with people, and because I remember I did it by myself first. No, I did that. I did that back then. But it's so funny. I never heard anybody use that term, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing it all the time. But
what?
studs and duds. I think it's funny. But now that I see that, let's do that before we wrap up here. I wanted to see him in the end zone. He is a big yes, absolutely. I mean, you might see him in that role in that Durham Smythe role, which they tried to do, and Smythe got stopped short. You might see him as that big-bodied wide receiver tight end role. Could be next week. Could wait after the bye. But I think we're getting there. The good thing is Miami has time to integrate him because Miami is 6-2. So Joseph, I agree with you. But I think Miami being 6-2 gives us time to slow down that process. You could put him in maybe later in games, kind of test those waters out, lob one into the corner of the end zone, let him try to come down with it. I like the Claypool trade, and I'm excited to see what that could do for us. Hey, he could be a major impact player in the playoffs. Might not doing something in the regular season, maybe a little bit here and there, but playoff time, he might be the surprise player that Dolphins are hiding there. Yeah, he's a bully when he's catching. He was a bully today. Evan, who are your 3 studs and duds for today's game?
I'll go with the duds first. First dud would be Jake Bailey because I'm tired. This guy does not punt very well, and like he doesn't kaboom the ball. Like you would see this guy Behringer today was hitting 70-yard punts. Jake Bailey to me needs to work on his punts. Go hang out with a soccer goalie in Germany at Bayern Munich. Go hang out with him. Teach him how to kick a ball. You used to be the highest pick kicker in the NFL. Improve on that. I just wasn't happy with his punts because there's not that many duds today. The next dud I would give would be, I'm trying to think, on the offensive side of the ball, I would give Liam Eichenberg only because he was the lead cause for that fumble, and he continues to struggle snapping. He has the Connor Williams thing, and he hasn't improved the way out because my level of comparing Liam Eichenberg is Austin Jackson, and Austin Jackson has taken the leap. Liam Eichenberg has been okay. He had an okay game because there's not that many duds. The other dud I would give to, and you're going to be shocked by this because I expect more out of him, is Jalen Phillips. He got 1 sack, but he's missing tackles. And I think I was thinking of Brett a lot during this game. He misses a lot of tackles. He does not get he's struggling to tackle players in space. And that frustrated me a little bit in terms of the dud of some of the plays he had today on defense. The stars for me today, Austin Jackson, because he was a surviving member of that offensive line, and the guy continues to show me that he's capable of being a great right tackle. Then, secondly, I would give it to Bradley Chubb, and thirdly, I'm going to give it to obviously the star of the game, Jalen Ramsey. I'm not giving it to the offense today because Waddle had a great game, but Waddle dropped 2 balls. Hill had a great catch, but he dropped the ball. Tua had a great game, but he had an interception. Ramsey did no wrong. Chubb did no wrong. And who was my third already? I'm already joking. Oh, Austin Jackson on the offensive line. Those were my 3 key stars of the game today.
Gotcha. So
Ike was MVP today. Are you kidding me?
No, hey, I agree with her on that. You just said he had an okay game. I mean, what do you expect from him? I mean,
he caused the fumble. I don't give people start because he was on the first.
I'm gonna give. Hold on. Let me give you my.
To defend myself.
No, I didn't ask you. Crap, I asked you to take it. Take the L. I didn't. I didn't ask you to defend yourself. Did you say respond? No, I just said she's right. I agree. I don't think he's a dud, but that's just me. Stud, I'm gonna give to Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. I think those were your studs for today. Bradley Chubb is a stud. I'm going to roll with that. Duds, I'm going to give one of Evan's guys a dud because he's been touching on this guy all year. And maybe it's rust because he hasn't played. But I'm going to give Robert Jones a dud. 2 penalties. I didn't like what I saw. He came in because of injuries. And Evan's been propping him up all year just to lay a dud during the game today. So he's a dud. And running game, I agree with Joseph. I believe Joseph was the one who said it. Running game was a dud. Did not like what I saw. I hope they fix that, or they play well into Kansas City, because we won't survive Kansas City if we can't have a solid run game with the balanced attack. And then thirdly, dud, I'm going to give our front seven in terms of rushing defense. Again, you can't bring that rushing defense against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Love Ray.
You cannot have that rushing defense against the Chiefs. They will destroy you. So there are front seven rushing defense is a dud. Robert Jones is a dud. The running game was a dud. Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, the receiving core studs. The hell was I saying? Jalen Ramsey is stud, and then Bradley Chubb's a stud.
Who said that Jalen Ramsey was going to be phenomenal for the last week? Who? I know. Who?
I'm pretty sure most of Twitter and Dolphin fans and
how can you not give Austin Jackson his flowers? He's the last man standing.
I didn't say anything bad about Austin Jackson. I've been praising him before the season.
Robert Jones. He's that left guard spot. I do. By the way, can I ask you a question? Is that left guard spot?
You would anyway.
Cursed? No, is that left guard spot cursed without Tyreek Armstead? I put that on Kendall Lamb. Why is it? It doesn't matter if it's Cotton. Doesn't matter if it's Wynn. Wynn was okay, but like that left guard spot looks to be haunted. Coming to Halloween, like they can't secure that left guard spot. It's weird.
But yes, Eric, again, we talked on the trade deadline. Again, Josie Jewell of the Denver Broncos is a guy that I would go after to help shore up that linebacking core. There's a couple other players, but we'll see how is that a dead defense body? That one confuses me. Again, look at what Ezekiel Elliott did, and what's this guy's name? I'm forgetting his name right now.
Andre Stevenson. They didn't do much today.
But look at the yards per carry. Look how many first downs they were able to get. The defensive line was bullied by the running game.
They had 4.1 yards a carry.
Oh, you mean that one?
It's 4.1 yards a carry.
Let me pull it up.
4.1 yards a carry.
4.4 yards per carry.
They only had a total of 13 first downs the whole game. We had 24.
Still, Doug, you got to do better. Can't do that against the Chiefs. Can't do that against the Chiefs. Cater was a stud. Cater, who was definitely a stud. Justin Simmons, I would like that, but I do like what I saw from Brandon Jones today.
He's a man can't tackle. The guy cannot tackle for his life.
Phillips was a stud. Yeah, I think Phillips was a stud.
Deshaun Elliott was better. Yeah, but Phil, the problem is that, and I wish Brett was here. Brandon Jones and Jalen Phillips did not play well today because they struggled in open field tackles. They did not perform the way Jalen Ramsey or Deshaun Elliott or Kader Kohu did today. They did not get the tackles in space.
So
we all been saying Bobby doesn't like Derrick Henry. He doesn't. The guy has been ripping him that we should not go after him since last February.
If you don't get what he's doing, he's being sarcastic. I've been talking about Henry for a while.
February, pre-draft.
Yeah, I've been talking about that for a while, but we'll see what happens. 17-0. Evan, again, very wrong. Very wrong. But, hey, you never know. Can you imagine if the Bears come all the way back?
They're not coming back.
I would not be able to bear Evan. I will not answer his call tomorrow.
There's no way they're coming back. I just can't. In my heart of hearts, I can't cheer for Justin Herbert. I just can't.
I know you can't.
I suffered for years.
Okay, Scotty, I'll relent.
Great he is.
Just to make you guys happy, I'll relent. I still think it's a dud. It's been a dud. Our Russian defense has not been good. Anyway, so
they were better today. Can I ask you a question? Is this the best? Is this the best you've seen our defense play? I do.
I think it's I wouldn't say probably the best. I mean, but I would say for sure.
What was their strongest game? Which game was better?
I'm not going to go over. Come on, you asked me one question. You answered. That's it. Let's get this ball rolling.
I think it's the best we've seen.
Well, don't ask me a question if you're going to just disagree. Just
say, back it up.
I don't have to back up anything. You're the one asking a random question. You back it up.
When you were in school and you had to answer a question, you didn't have to show your work.
Not when I'm running my own channel. No, just take it quiet.
Ooh, he's taking the authority over me today. Ooh, power.
It's Evan, not Devin. I think he's probably voice texting. Chris,
it's okay.
I could be wrong.
I love Eric, so don't worry. Eric, I forgive you. But thank you for the defense, Chris. Yeah, we've been getting honestly, like I said today, I'm less concerned about the defense than I am about the offense right now.
Well, you said, yeah, in regards of adding somebody, right? You think they should add
The running
somebody?
game 2 games in a row showed how much they're missing H-Chan. It shows. It's very evident. Without Brooks, without H, you're down 2 running backs, and the running backs that you have in the room are not getting you the yards the last couple games. Maybe he broke a finger. Don't worry, Eric. I forgive you. I was not worried. Or were you checking? By the way, did you see Bradley Chubb's sack? He was literally, he broke. You ever played that game Red Rover when you were a kid? Red Rover. He literally broke the Red Rover arms. He pushed 2 guys out of the way. Excuse me.
Chris Brooks is out. He's on IR, Joseph. That's why we're not using him.
Exactly. He's injured.
He's out.
But by the way, I just want to let you know, Liam Eichenberg is I have to have someone to pick on. I'm over Jason Sanders, and now I'm on Eichenberg.
Yeah, when I saw Jason Sanders come up for that kick, I got nervous. I was like, "Oh crap, I can't."
I wasn't worried. I said, "It's give me."
That's what
I told you I would turn him around.
Yeah, that's what you did. And then I'll just say very quick: Giants, I would consider be better, and then the Broncos. That's what I consider better. Anyway,
no.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
Yeah, because a lot of times in today's game, there was times I got nervous at points where I thought the Patriots were going to score. Never felt nervous.
I felt the defense saved.
And remember, the defense, I think the defense did a lot for Miami against the Giants. Were two interceptions. Remember, I think the defense had a better game than they did today. Right?
Well, look at the defense.
Obviously, but again, that's not taking away from Jalen Ramsey, who had a major impact on today's game and what he was able to do for his defense.
Thank you, Scotty. When they got on that first play, the reason why I think the defense was great, but the defense showed their moxie today when on the first play heading into the third quarter, first play, fumble, 20-yard, field goal. No, they did not give up a touchdown there. That was huge. That was ginormous.
We need a big back. I agree. And, whether that is via trade or if that was a free agent signing again.
And I'm on the anti-Dalvin. And do not go suffer yourself with Dalvin Cook.
No.
Don't give up anything for Dalvin Cook. You could have got him for free.
Yeah, no. Well, not free, but yeah, I got you. No picks. I'm not. Don't do anything. No, again, Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette. Those are my guys.
Cotton got injured. That's why. Or your guard had to come in, but Cotton ended up having to get pulled out anyway. I think at one point.
Absolutely. So all right. So let me ask you this: before today's game, do you feel better about the Chiefs game before today's game than after, or you still feel pretty much the same?
I feel no. I was already confident with Jalen Ramsey. I'm confident because today we got back the one player I wanted to see get comfortable. That was Jalen Ramsey. This week, next week, we're going to even be stronger. You didn't have to see Needham today, but you're going to have Teron Armstead's window is going to open. And even Mike McDaniel said Teron Armstead is going to be driving him bananas. You have no idea how much Teron Armstead's going to want to play this game. Javon Holland's coming out of concussion protocol probably this week. And you have X who worked the pregame warm-up, but I think he's going to come back. To get those great players back, you're talking about 3 great players. I'm more confident. I'm more confident than I was prior to this game.
I will say very again. I was confident before the season more than the Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, you've seen the way Miami does against top 10 defenses. They did very well today. They answered a point I brought up today that scored more than 24 points. They did that. Was happy for that. I think this is going to be a great game next week. Again, I'm going to take my time in making my official prediction. I usually do that at Fins Talk today or pregame. But Ralph, I'll tell you what, whether 6-3 or 7-2 entering the bye,
the flu.
Miami Dolphin fans should be happy with this team right now. 6-3 or 7-2 after the bye, okay, is awesome. I would love, obviously 7-2 would be ecstatic. And we're still deciding, just to give you guys a heads up for pregame, we're still deciding if we're going to be the night before, late night before pregame, or early morning. It's depending how we're going to do it for the game. But post game, again, we could do 8 o'clock. I think it'd be cool if we did earlier. But again, we'll see how that works out. Me and Evan will work it out, and whoever wants to join us could join us live on the show. I don't know what time the game will probably end before any games start, so we could have a post game early. That'd be pretty cool.
He's still going to come, but I think he'll still travel with the team.
That's true. Just true.
Any player who's available who's not on IR will travel with the team.
There you go. But anywho, guys, we are at the hour and a half mark, about there. FinStanza, catch him again Thursday night on the Fins bandwagon with Fish Tank Hank. I will be on tomorrow with Alex. Yes, we have our normal show tomorrow. Alex is traveling soon, so I have to kind of remember. But tomorrow, East 10th Street Boys will be talking Heat, Dolphins.
What do you mean he's traveling? What do you mean he's traveling? Oh, isn't he? You're coming to you?
Yes.
Are you guys doing it live together?
Not tomorrow. That's for Thanksgiving. I was just trying. I got my mind mixed up here.
Okay.
So he'll be traveling around Thanksgiving time, and we'll do a live East 10th Street Boys from Tennessee. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Again,
maybe you should look on a map, see if there's an East 10th Street Boys in Tennessee, and go ask the person, "Can I do it in front of your lawn?"
That would be hilarious. I would love to do it from a place, but it's okay. We got a nice area here. We could do it outside in the deck area. But anyway, guys, again, thank you so much.
In the cold of Tennessee, you're gonna do it in 40-degree weather.
Maybe. I used to do the show. Go back and watch some of these old shows I used to do. I did them out in the cold. I used to do them out in my unit outside, or I do them on the deck, and I just wear my jacket and just do the show from there. I could do it. It doesn't bother me none. I'm a grown ass man. No, just kidding. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much. Catch FinStanza on Thursday.
Actually say that.
Anyway, keeps interrupting. Just to leave him out here for a second. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching. That's FinStanza. Catch him Thursday night on the bandwagon. I'll see you tomorrow night on East 10th Street Boys. For everyone tuning in, we appreciate you. If you're new to the show, thank you for coming on. Hit that like and subscribe button. We've got a lot of great content, daily content right now in the evenings, but we do have a couple day shows, and hopefully have a few day shows adding on as well. But thank you so much, Chris, Ralph, Fiel, make sure Joseph, Scotty, Daniel, Rob, of course, tuned in, Ray, Miss Fins.
I'm not watching Real Talk this week.
Yeah, and I texted him before, man.
And Lagasse, forget that. I'm not watching Overtime this week.
Hog, everybody tuning in. Thank you so much. Kenna, 23423. We appreciate you. Everyone watching.
Scotty,
thank you.
I always agree. You, Chris, I appreciate you.
And most importantly,
Bobby, whatever.
Fins, kiss my. All right, Fins up, everybody. Take it easy.